Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today we've got a map that jumped off of the workshop to me and by a creator that you probably recognise by name down in the comments. They're quite active, so really good to see. This map pops. It's clean, it's crisp, it's got a good buildable space, it's got a unique vibe, it falls into the fantasy map genre, but not stupidly fantasy, just a little bit of disbelief here and there, just to bring the whole thing together. It's very good quality going through and through, very little to grumble about. In fact, there's nothing really holding this map back. It might not be to everybody's taste, but it will be to most of your tastes in terms of buildability. But before we have a look at today's map, I've got one little reminder for you. It's a daily one. That's right, remembering what you have to do with the daily reminder is a really good way of not forgetting things. Now, what was I doing? Ah yeah, map review. So today's map is Joyride by drakkart. Now this, as I promised you, is going to be something just a little bit crisp, a little bit clean and aesthetically pleasing as well. There's your start square, not too much to say about that, it's just good to go. What about the terrain heights? Well, flat central 25 tiles and lots of interesting terrain around the outside, if you want to buy into that using the 81 tile mod. Resources, bold and strong and blotchy and usable, so no grumbles there. And then if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, we've got pretty much all of the options there as well, so all credit for that too. Off to the workshop, what do we need? Well, it's a mass transit map, you will need mass transit for this one. A few things to subscribe to, we're using the Reaper's Real Temperate and Boreal theme, the Relight Neutral LUT, and there are a few other things to subscribe to. Quite a bit of reading, not really essential reading if you're not really into reading, although I always highly recommend it because the backstory is almost always as interesting as the map itself. Okay, shall we have a look at the map? I think we should. Now first of all, interesting little setup here where we have the rail below and between the two highway lines, and it's very tidily done. Very tidily done. I'm showing you that though for a reason, because if we follow it across here, you'll see we go into a tunnel under there while the roads go very neatly over like that, you see, and then it emerges back out here, the tunnel in between the two highways and below, and we're going to just kind of follow the road and the rail together most of the way today. But then when we get to the suspension bridge, probably because the pillars are a little bit wider and stronger, we've moved the rail across to one side, so we're no longer between, we're to one side. I guess that had to be done, so very, again, clean and crisp. And then when we nip in here, suddenly we have to jink to the right, underground, nobody sees it, and nobody's going to really care this far out because we're now back in the middle again. Righty-kokey. We've got some retaining walls here and here, which are very aesthetically pleasing as well for what they do. Now, something that maybe some of you might be able to teach me here. Why have we got sound barriers on the exit of this tunnel? Not on the entrance, but the exit. You'll see this, it's a recurring theme. It's consistent across the entire map, so whatever the reason is a very is a consistent one. Again, over here we have the retaining walls on the exit, but not on the entrance. And you'll see, let's say, again and again and again. I won't talk about all of them, but I might go, oh, there you go, retaining walls sort of thing. Yeah, the rail's just gone across to the right hand side there. Nice little aesthetic pond in the middle of that roundabout, all very neat. Now the rail does peel off to one side here for a few moments. This one heads off down to what I'm telling you I suspect is an airfield. Not least because we have got this little prop down here which suggests it's probably an airfield, but also because we've got a dotted line down there. So anyway, back over to the rail. The rail over here merges back in with the highways. Now, one thing that did worry me a little bit about the airfield is it's quite a long way off from the air routes. But I have tested it, and the planes do come in and land, so that is absolutely fine. Another potential start intersection down here, which leads a lot of traffic down to a couple of options down here actually. Got a pre-built intersection here, which again looks clean and crisp. It's very nicely done as well. We've even got a little football pitch down here. Look at that, goal! Maybe not a good idea to play football on the roundabout, kids, so don't do it. Then we've got this slightly squiffy but perfectly done suspension bridge there. It's very nicely done indeed, even though it's not, say, perfectly aligned. It doesn't want to be, so it's good job drakkart. Intersection here, and we'll talk about the trees on intersection detailing a bit later on, I feel. But again, here we go. Exit from the tunnel, we have the highway barriers, the sound barriers. But yes, we'll look at the tree detailing on intersections. I think you can see what I'm going to say, but we'll save that until later on. We're just checking out the highway routes at the moment. Following across the empty land. Now, this is going to be a little bit of an interesting, again, it's a fantasy-ish map, this one. Again, exit highway barriers there. But if you have a look here, we go into a tunnel, under a river, under a little ridge there, and then a drop. Again, it's fine. It's been done exceptionally well. It's more a design map than it is a realistic map, but and plenty of flat build space. Up and over the rail, and then we're coming down to the start square intersection, which again is being detailed with those big trees that are just there for the detailing. Following the highway now, elevated across the land here, over some trees, or over a patch of tree area. Perfect suspension bridge down here as well, no complaints with that. And then the start square is right here. We pull back, give you a view of that. And it's time for the asset review. And today we're going to go across to beautiful Japan for the Cafe Isamiya by Koma. Lovely little asset, this one. Of course, Koma has been producing some really good stuff for quite some time now. They really do know what they're doing and are giving us. If you're doing a Japanese build or anything from that neck of the woods, where if you can't read the language, yeah, you're probably fine. Anyway, factoids, because factoids. The elephant has the world's largest penis. It weighs an average of 60 pounds. Which ironically is exactly double the amount you have to pay to get access to wine, ladies. Hey, baby. Sorry, elephant penises. Today's factoid of the day. Okay, so yes, very nicely done, a little asset there. Some really good texturing going on, especially on the roof. And it just looks absolutely on point. So thanks very much, Koma. Isamiya Cafe. JP Isamiya, Cafe Isamiya even, by Koma. Today's stuttering asset of the day. Get your words out, BonBon. Get your words out. Okay, back to the highways. We've been down here, so let's skip over there. Back onto the main highway. And following off towards the edge of the map, we can see we've got some pre-built power infrastructure there. We won't go into any great deal on the power. We will just give it a nod later on. There's other things we need to see with today's map. Again, a lovely, lovely suspension bridge. We have a drowned tree, though. Yeah. The drowned tree, probably the worst detailing error on the entire map there. So we go crossing over the rail and through another tunnel and out the other side of the tunnel and elevated all the way to the edge. So let's jump onto the rail, because this rail route does something a little bit different. This does break away from the highways, so we go through another tunnel. Again, nice crisp tunnels going on here. No catenary chaos, so well done drakkart for that one. Somebody who's obviously seen more than a dozen shows, so thank you very much for that. And then the rail is just nicely done down here. We're going to go past the Essential Lighthouse, because that's what people do, they go past them. Up and over another little crossing here, little loop around here, into the harbour area, pre-cut harbour with a rail connection. Very neat indeed. Gotta say, I like it.
I can't believe I'm plugging this, but my husband, this old gamer, has a YouTube channel where he builds cities or something. He thinks he's funny and different from other Cities Skylines channels, but what he needs to do is take out the trash. But in the meantime, check out this old gamer.
And back to Joyride by drakkart and the shipping routes. And again, somebody who's seen more than a dozen shows. Look at these arcs. Look at the way they just merge in with each other. That's very lovely done. Very lovely done. Very lovely, my dear. Yes, beautiful arcs there. Not arcs to get stuck on the top of mountains. Nope. These are arcs where the ships could just cruise around. Now, is this bridge high enough? That's the only question I don't have an answer to. I didn't have time to set up and just test these things, and one of these days I'm going to remember to download or subscribe to one of these ruler sets. But then I'm going to have to remember to measure the height of, it's just, shall we just say, it might not be high enough, but we're going to give benefit of the doubt, yeah. Okay, well, that's what we're going to do. Water flow, we've got water flow, working rivers flowing down into the ocean. You can see there's your start square area. We've even got some pre-built infrastructure going on with the water. You can see some pipes going on here. Where are these pipes off to? This heads over to here. We've got the dam, which is where your power's coming from. Where's that pipe going? Where's that pipe off to? It's going off into the mountains. Okay, then. We'll check that out. So, yes, the map as a whole, really crisp, lovely look. Interesting shape, nice and easy to build on. It's flat, but it's tiered flat, so you've got different levels. But have a look at the trees here. Now, my grumble with the trees here, if there wasn't all these smaller trees around the outside, that tree detailing is a way of masking the shape. But because we've got two different sorts of trees, it just looks a bit weird to me. So what I probably would do, I'm just going to use Move It to copy and paste a whole bunch of these bigger trees just around the outside to add some kind of bleed, so we can blend in the trees in the middle of the intersection. Again, this isn't a polished job. This is just me doing a quick task to try and explain where I'm coming from, what I'm thinking of. So just a few like that, and maybe a few around the outside here, a couple down the side there, maybe a couple on the other side of the railway there, and maybe a couple there. So yes. And I feel instantly that just has a transition away through the intersection. I don't think it's the most polished work, but it's something. Well, exactly the same going. I'm not going to do the same job over here, but you can see exactly the same here, where you've just got one style of tree on the inside and a different sort of tree on the outside. And you might like it. You might like it. If you do, that's great. We've got some farmland walls, rubble walls there. Obviously not a castle. Oh, we do have a quarry as well, a little spiral quarry, and that's very tidy work as well. What more has this map got? It's got some lovely mountains. Going to say the shapes on the mountains, the texture of the mountains look really good. The rivers, the spawn points are a little bit meh, but to be honest with you, how many people really look at spawn points? But I'm pointing that out. I do have this little pool over here that I'm not massively sold on. There's your spawn point there. I mean, it's okay. It could be a lot worse. And a lot worse. But yes, I do feel that could be just smoothed out a little bit. It's just, I'm not buying the shape of it. Especially with the stream depth running through the middle. We've got this interesting stylistic marshy area. I don't hate it, but in the style of map that we are looking at, I don't hate this at all. It's not a realistic thing, but at least it's given us something different, and I think it works. I think that works in the style of the map that we've got. We've even got quite a nice looking waterfall there going on too, so credit for that as well. Heading up into the mountains, we've got this interesting area here, where we have the rail tunnel coming out of the mine, and some sort of like rockfall on the mine there. The mine's been quite nicely done. We've got everybody's favourite factories going on there, along with a little dirt track leading up and into them. That's all cool. My biggest grumble with this area is this fence. I'm not buying into this. Now, looks like it might be part of an asset, but if I use Move It, you'll see that it's actually been deliberately placed, because I can remove each individual section. So I'm not really buying the fence around this area, especially the bit that goes around the tunnel entrance. There's a bit that goes around the other edges as well that I could look at in more detail. I'm not going to, but I could. Now if we go up into the mountain a little bit more, we have got the observatory. Now, have a look at this observatory. We know it's got water. It could do with a power line up here just to give it power. Or, of course, just power into the roads. That mod, is it electric roads, maybe? Very neatly done as well. A good place for that. But the thing is, garbage is going to accrue up here. This is somebody who's placed an asset that produces garbage in one of their own maps. So, yeah, I know about that. We'll come back and have a look at the garbage issue in a moment on that one. But let me just show you, we've got some very interesting features like these water-filled volcanoes. Do you know what? They are dramatic. Gotta say, these are really dramatic. And I like the way, actually, they do leave an awful lot of room for building as well. Because sometimes you see these, they just take over the map too much. Like this one here. And then it's not a bonbon island, but it is a nice island. Lots of buildable space on the island and a dramatic water-filled volcano as well. It's very nice. Very nice work. I think the two kind of do work together on this map as well. It's perfect balance, really. Perfect balance between the two. And, of course, I like the way that the forests have been done along here as well, which, again, leaves a lot of build space. And you can use that for breaking up your grid city formation. We do, of course, have the essential lighthouse here as well. Lighthouse Keeper's Cottage. Very neat in red. Ah, isn't she lovely? We've got a pre-cut little mini harbour as well, which makes a change from having the plopped jetty. So credit for that too. Right, over here we have a bay area and a harbour area as well. Of course, like I say, the entrance might be a little bit too low, possibly. But I'm giving benefit of the doubt and saying that it's not. And, oh, we have got a jetty there as well to go with the pre-cut harbour. That's fine. Anyway, back up to the observatory. Remember the observatory? How could you forget the observatory? Right, so garbage. Garbage, we do have actually a solution. Because, look, we've got no garbage here at the moment. Partly, though, because I think somebody's got the game on pause. Yeah, maybe. No, the windmill is rolling, so maybe not. But yes, having a look down here. Now, everybody's favourite factories are there serving a purpose. Going to use move it again here to unhide the area. Boom. Boom. Look at that. We got a garbage facility underneath the factories and a hidden tunnel. So the garbage truck can get out of here. And this actually loops directly up onto the dirt track and up to the observatory. So that's a very neat idea. Probably could have a police station as well, because we seem to have some police issues up there. Can we have everything on that little section, please? Well, fire services. We don't want the observatory catching fire now, do we? Anyway, let's put the everything back as we found it. There. Oh, apart from we've got a missing fence there because I demolished that earlier. What do you think of the map, though? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Click the I button now in the top right-hand corner of your screen. It will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free. But what do I think of the map? Well, questions. Aesthetically, I like it. I think the whole thing balances very nicely indeed. There's a lot of good crisp work here. I don't feel it's a 5-star map, but I think it's a very solid 4 stars for aesthetics. Middle 4. Good score. Detail. Again, I would give this a middle 4, but we have got a drowned tree down there. And I'm not really buying into the tree detailing around the intersections. It's still good work, and a good score is 4 stars. So I'm going to give this, just give this one a low 4. Gameplay potential. Very playable. Something's stopping me from giving this 5 stars. I don't know what it is, but I'm just not buying into a 5th star. But I'm going to give it a high 4 stars for gameplay potential. So there we go, 4, 4 and 4. I think that speaks for itself. It's a good, solid, crisp, fresh looking map with plenty of things going on about it. But does it deserve a BonBonB seal of approval? Of course it does. There it is. Thump in your face. In your face, drakkart. In your face. Anyway, that's it from Joyride. Links are all in the description below, as always. Thanks to all the BonBon buddies over on Patreon for your support. You guys truly are the best. And if you want to be better than the best, if you're on that list and you are still here, you're in the 20 and out elite and the BonBon buddy, use the word of the day in the comments down below and score yourself 100 population points just for fun. Just for fun. Keep your own scores and don't tell anybody about our secret society. Thanks for watching.